Hey, first I want to, let me slow down. First, I want to say thank you to anybody that watches. Hello. If you didn't see my introduction video, my name is JC. And today I would like to talk about college burnout and how to avoid it. So, not really. All right, one of the biggest things that really get people burnt out with college is time and money. So money, there's not much you can really do about most of the. There is one case on which case you can. These two actually go nicely together. When people get to college, one of the biggest things is they try to get out of here in 4 years. If anybody tells you that going to college is something you got to get done in 4 years, that is the biggest lie anyone can tell you. The school is going to want you to get done in 4 years. And that's not even to say that it's like mandatory. They're going to be pushing for that because it's like kind of like a standard type deal. But biggest lie anybody can tell you is that it's going to take that you're supposed to be out in 4 years. You can take 5, you can take 7. Personally, I know some people that they took 7 years to get a bachelor's, and you know that's pretty lax. I wouldn't personally recommend taking that long, but hey, if you do, get it done whenever. But people, they commonly come to college and they say like, oh, I want to major in this. Like specifically, I can think of an example of a girl. It was her freshman year, first semester, and she was in my Spanish class, and she was taking 17 hours, like 17 hours this semester, and was trying to take 21 hours next semester, and then still go home on the weekends. And and she just flat out missed like 2 weeks of class, like just like straight. And she was saying she had some home problems, and she also was, she's stressed, and typical stuff. Talk to her therapist, be getting depressed and stuff. I say, don't put yourself in a situation where you feel like you have to do something like that. Like 17 hours is a lot of work by itself. And then on top of that, 21 hours is just like insane, unless you're just like cheating the system. Like I don't know, if you're taking like an online class, and to be honest, you can bullshit your way through a lot of online classes because it's just simply like some people, you can a lot of online classes be open everything because the teacher can't stop you anyways. So do whatever you want. And the second thing is, a lot of people, they think they have to go to college when they turn 18. That can be done, and that's not a problem. But what I would actually take a step back. I was talking about the credits thing. A lot of times teachers, counselors, class schedules, they try to get you at about like 14 credit hours a semester, which can translate to 4 to 5 classes. Now, one of the greatest things that I could say that has me like ahead and kept me from falling behind was I actually came to college with 16 credit hours, which is about a semester's worth. And that was not through any extra trying or being some overachieving student. My school actually had a dual credit enrollment course where I'd go to my regular high school classes, and I'd also receive credit for college credit, and we had an AP course. Now I was really passionate about mathematics, so what I did was I took AP calculus. I think it's like A, B, and BC. I forget how they number it. So basically Calc 1, Calc 2. But I took AP Calc 1, and it was simply because my teacher, she's like, she handed me a package. She's like, I want you in here. You were good in pre-calc. I want you to take the AP calculus, and I know you can do it. And that was just a push for me to get it done. And that after taking the AP exam, I was able to get 4 credits for that. And then my school offered English 1 something and English something else, which was 6 credits right there. So now I'm up to 10. And then I also took like a juvenile law and like law of like society class, and that was another 6 credits. So total added up to 16 credits. Now I mentioned that to say if you're a high school student, great, you have that extra start area. What you want to do is take some online classes over the summer at like a community college, just just the generic gen ed classes. For example, I'm taking some classes online this summer, and I'm doing so at about a cost of 500. This even greatly highlights it. I'm taking one class with my school and two classes at a community college. The class at my school is $1,600, 3 credit hours. The class at my community college is about $500 for 3 credit hours. So I'm taking 6 credit hours there, and those 6 credit hours still come out to about $600 cheaper than what I do at my school. So really, I could take 9 credit hours there for about the same price that I take for 3 credit hours at my school. So, like I was saying, a lot of the times is you want to give yourself extra room to do something. Just like when you give yourself a goal, you don't say like, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire tomorrow or something like that. You say, I'm going to do it over the next 10 years. Give yourself some time to build towards that. And that is what community college in high school, or any college credit in high school, can do for you. It's amazing, honestly. If you can afford it, or if you have a summer job and you plan on going to college, that will be one of the greatest investments you can do for yourself. Because like I said, it costs about $1,600 to $2,000 per class. And that, I'm an in-state student, so that's me getting like reduced. And a lot of the classes, about 60 of your hours in, and at least 30. I say at least 30. And college is just going to be gen eds. It's going to be music. It's going to be art. I major in math. I still have to take music, art, and Spanish. So it's going to be gen eds that really don't have anything to do with what you major in, like, at all. But, it's still something you got to do. You can't just print out the degree yourself, or at least no one will give a shit about it if you do that. But, yeah. That gave me so much time. I got about a semester worth of time. I got to come in ahead and jump right into Calc 2. That was perfect. Also, going back to the money part of it, it saves you so much money, especially if you can have your parents help out or something like that. You could just work it for a summer. You'd spend probably about $1,000 to take 6 to 9 credit hours a summer. You're already doing and if you just do that for 2 summers, you already have a semester. You have about 12 to 18 credits. Also, being a full-time student is only 12 credit hours. You don't have to take 15, which is the difference between, pass or fail, because another class can just take up so much time, and it can be just the straw that breaks the camel's back. It can just destroy you. I talked about time and money. One thing is, this is probably the greatest lie someone can tell you, is that you have to work through college. I get that you don't want to build up debt, you don't want to do all this stuff, but I'm telling you, as like a 15 credit hour student, you are not putting in those 15 hours. Like they say, oh yeah, no, you have to go to those classes about 3 hours. So if it's a 3 credit hour class, you have to go to that class about 3 hours a week. That does not include your homework and stuff like that. I've had homework assignments where I've been given 2-3 problems, and I worked on them in a group. This is just math homework, and it has taken me 2 hours to finish, 2-3 hours to finish. So if anybody tells you have to work, yeah, it's good for money, it's good to keep down debt, but do not try to force yourself to work, because that is the greatest mistake you can. And that's what almost had me burn out myself. In my second semester, I was working 20 hours a week at Amazon, and I had to drive back home 2 hours. I had to drive home on Fridays. I had classes Monday through Friday, yeah. And I was taking, I think, about 14 credit hours. I had to drive back home every Friday, go home, I had to drive home 2 hours, get up on Saturday and go work a 10-hour shift on Saturday, walking all day. I think I walk like 12 to 15 miles. And then I had to do the same thing Sunday. And then as soon as I got off of work Sunday, I'd have to just drive back to school, which was admittedly like a lot extra. But I ended up failing my class because I had tough professors who were like not the best professors, but I also couldn't put in the time to make up for what they were doing to me. I got like I just got tired of school and stuff like that. Like you just get to the point where you don't want to put in that effort. And I've seen a couple of people. I've had people who went here to school with me, and they're like, "Yeah, I work this job. I need the money. I need the money." And then they'll be like, "Oh, I picked up a shift to get the money, and I missed class. I missed the test. Wow, like, oh, I'm so screwed." And it's like you're going to work to help pay for school, but you're missing school. Like consider college as an investment in yourself. It's so that you can make more money in the future. Don't necessarily I'm gonna end off on this note, but do not prioritize retail, some low level job where you're barely making minimum wage or slightly above it. Do not prioritize that over your future. At the very least, do a healthy amount of both. There's nothing wrong with being a part-time student at the same time as being a part-time worker, or going to community college first. Community college first is probably like great. When I have children, I'm personally going to do the high school thing where they can just take an online class each summer and build up those credits. That'll just save them a lot of money. But the biggest thing the biggest hindrance to yourself is always going to be trying to do too much in too little time. That 4 years, that's a lie. Take 5, take 6 if you really need to. At 4 years, it's a lie. You don't have to do that at all. Especially if you did the community college thing. You'd probably be out in 3 years and you'd just be coasting. Be a part-time student. But that's all. I'm gonna end it here. Thank you if anybody actually listened to this point. Hey, this is a fun hobby for me now, since I'm trapped indoors all day.